Hey everyone, Tankenstein here. In this video, I've got some really exciting news in relation to the crafting event for War Thunder in April 2021. That's right, there is somehow interesting news in relation to a crafting event. And that's because Gaijin seems to be throwing all their cards on the table this year, really pulling out all the stops to get you to grind as much as possible. Now, why do I say that? That's because we are getting the XM8 AGS, which is a light tank, top tier or near top tier for the American Ground Forces tech tree that looks to be amazing. So this is a tank that was developed in the early to mid 90s and it was supposed to replace the M551 Sheridan, but never panned out due to budget concerns. It's a 105mm cannon that will be able to fire APF, SDS ammo, and HEFS as well. Again, this should be a high tier American tank, but what really makes this thing special, not the cannon, because a lot of cannons can do what this does, not necessarily the speed, whatever. It's the variable armor that you can choose. You can actually choose as the player before each match how much armor you want to bring into that match, whether it's a level 1 or level 3 thickness. Now, I'll get into that in just a moment, but that is really cool as it will greatly affect the gameplay to this. And in some ways, you're kind of getting two variations of the same tank in one single tank. So it's awesome. But that said, if you haven't subscribed to my channel thus far, please do it. I will be coming out with tons of content, actual content, not just news content. This is just a really busy week and time for War Thunder news, but I typically come out with guides. But either way, without trying to pander to you guys for a subscription, let's get into the meat of the video. So as I stated in the intro to this video, this tank will be a high tier American light tank. Personally, I think it'll sit anywhere between around 9.0 and 9.7 based on the stats I've seen, but it's kind of difficult to place again because of that really unique armor feature. So I'm kind of thinking maybe 9.3 or 9.7. Some people might even think 10.0, but I think it's a little bit high just based on the other stats of this vehicle. Now, this has, again, those two armor classes, so you have level 1 and level 3. Interestingly, it has no level 2 package in-game, at least yet, per Gaijin, even though it did exist in real life. Now, level 3 adds literally tons of composite screens and additional armor, making it go from approximately 19.25 tons to nearly 25 tons, which should decrease its performance fairly substantially, especially given that it only has a 550 horsepower diesel engine. Now, if it were a more powerful engine, let's say 650 to 750 horsepower, I wouldn't be as concerned, but that extra 5 tons will likely give this tank movement speed in the range of a faster medium tank, if that. Now, that level 3 armor also deletes smoke grenade canisters that the level 1 would have. So to give you an idea of how effective the level 1 armor is compared to the level 3 on this tank, the level 1 armor is meant to provide protection against small arms and shrapnel, meaning that it may be vulnerable, at least in some areas, to HMGs and likely to autocannons. Now, the level 3 armor was meant to protect against light handheld anti-tank weaponry, which is still not all that great, but it may protect against HEFS and provide protection against the aforementioned autocannons and HMGs. Unless, of course, these are more powerful purpose-built autocannons like the one on the Big Light Panzer 57, in which case, if you're facing that, good luck. Additionally, this tank will be extremely weak against kinetic weaponry. So any of your standard APHE, AP, whatever the case may be, basically what you think of as World War II ammo and before and slightly after, that is what this tank will be extremely vulnerable to. So if you have the Object 279, this thing should be easy, but well, to be fair, most tanks are pretty easy to fight when you have the IS or the Object 279. So it's important to bear in mind that this is not a premium tank. So when you go to purchase it on the marketplace, or if you're deciding to sell it on the marketplace, it will not have RP and Silver Line boosters, meaning that this will just be a somewhat uncommon tank and not especially useful for grinding a tech tree. This said, I expect for the initial price to swing wildly, but for it to end up being anywhere between around 50 and 75 GJN after a few weeks and remain somewhat consistent over time, with the price rising somewhat as the number of tanks available for sale decreases. One important thing that I did not mention before is that this tank should be moving at around 72 kilometers per hour for its top speed, but that is on roads only. It has a substantially reduced top speed by around 12 miles per hour or whatever the kilometer per hour conversion is for that. But this said, I'm really stoked for this tank to be coming to game. Tell me what you guys think about this. Apparently, there's also a variant with a more powerful 120mm cannon and an autoloader that was tested in the early 2000s, so we might actually get that in the regular tech tree. So again, I'm really stoked about this. This is a modular tank essentially, or at least the beginnings of the modular tank system, and it should really bring a lot of versatility to the American tech tree, and really especially for this vehicle, being that it has some of the most versatile armor in game, being that you literally can choose it before a match. But either way, thanks so much for watching, everyone. Please, again, remember, like, comment, subscribe. Subscriptions really helps me grow as a channel. I've seen tremendous growth recently. I'm looking to keep that up. All the views mean so much to me. But that being said, again, thanks so much, everyone, and I will see you all on the other side. Take care, everyone. Have a great night, great day, great whatever it is you're doing. And, I wish everyone the best of luck.